everyone, welcome to Ginger Hussies podcast, episode, is this 5?
5.
It is
5, yeah. Today we will be talking about The Haunting of Hill House, the Netflix series with the creepy, scary, ooky, kooky and creepy ghosts. I'm Roisin.
I'm Alison.
And I'm Dillan.
Welcome.
The Haunting of Hill House. This is also going to contain spoilers.
Yeah.
She didn't mention that.
Spoiler alert.
So basically, the whole thing is about this family called the Cranes who move into the
Cranes.
house, the Hill House, and it like shows them as in the house is haunted, and
No.
they show the house and like them living in it when they're younger, and then the effects it has on them when they're older, and it's good. Definitely recommend it. So basically, there's 5 siblings. Well, the oldest one's Steve, who I think other than Luke is
Steve.
my favourite one. Basically he arguably he is a bit mean.
Over it.
Yeah.
I won't say mean. I think he's a little bit selfish.
He's selfish. I'll admit he's selfish.
Not horrible, but he's selfish.
He's
Like,
selfish. But I think I have 3 other siblings. If this happened to us, ignoring the last the thing that happened with Nelly, I would 100% write a book about it. At least try to make some money of it, because it has clearly affected Steve. 100% Steve is not as well adapted to the world as he would have been had Hugh's the dad. If Hugh had not put it all on him, because very much he expected Steve to be the adult, an adult about it. When how old was Steve? About 12.
Because of his age,
yeah.
because of his age, he's the one who tries to handle it the most. Is rationally the right word?
Yeah.
He tries to make it the more.
He basically just acts like it was like a folie à deux sort of thing, like mental health.
I can
issue.
understand the writing the book off it, trying to get something from it, because from his perspective, it's a load of nonsense. So it's like, I understand his logic.
I get that you both don't like him, but I do like Steve. I think Steve is one. I think he's very supportive to all the rest of his siblings, even though Shirley is horrible to Steve constantly. And I can understand that she is annoyed about the book. I do think Steve just shouldn't have written them in the book. Like, for people who don't want to be in it. Like, Theo, Luke and Nellie didn't really care. Shirley did. I wouldn't have put Shirley in.
Just do it anonymously.
Yeah. But I like Steve, and I think it makes me, it's obvious that it has affected him in a way he doesn't like to show, by the fact that he has made out, in his head, he's been like, oh no, it's a mental illness. It's a mental health problem about my whole family, rather than this horrifying ghost thing. He's just pretending he hasn't seen any ghosts.
The
more I listen to you, the more I'm like, actually, Steve isn't that bad.
Yeah, exactly.
When you first watch it, you're like, horrible person, why is he doing this? But when I'm listening to you, I'm like, actually, he's all right.
He's clearly looking for something though, because all he does is...
He's not too bad.
All he does is go and try and find... Maybe it's to write more books, but he's looking for ghosts. Isn't he? Is he looking to find them, or is he looking to disprove it?
He's trying to help people. He's trying to help
he wants to help people, but he still doesn't believe.
He's not...
No, because it's like he goes to help that lady who thinks she sees her husband, and he's like, well, you can hear the cars, you're being woken up by that, there's a drip from the roof, and you're going to witness the last time you saw your husband.
He's going to disprove it, not to find proof.
Yeah, but
he's not doing it in a
shame
shame
ghosts
from
don't
exist.
Unsolved.
Yeah.
He's proving it in this is why you're thinking this. But yeah, basically I like Steve.
It's like a self-help kind of thing.
A sibling I'm not a fan of is Shirley.
Oh, Shirley is the worst.
I can understand why Shirley is like that. Again, I think all of them is reasonable. I just think Shirley just isn't very nice.
Literally a complete control freak.
Yeah.
Could you argue that's because she didn't really have very much control in the early years of her life?
Maybe, but some of the decisions she makes are baffling.
I also just think she isn't particularly nice to them.
No, she's not nice to anyone.
She's horrible.
Because Luke even.
She's incredibly unforgiving.
The thing that annoys me a lot about Luke is he is a drug addict, and you can't just ditch your family because they're a drug addict.
But you can tell that he's trying.
Yeah.
So give him a chance.
It's not like he's just being
Don't just be like.
Yeah.
No.
It's also when she stops him from coming to the wedding. It's not her choice to make. It's not her wedding.
Yeah. That was not her decision to make.
I honestly just struggle to find something to like with Shirley.
Same. I find her quite...
I cannot stand her.
Insufferable.
I feel bad for her, but I very much feel like she thinks every single thing every other sibling does, especially Steve and Theo, is an attack on her.
And you also find out very towards the end that she's a massive hypocrite. Massive
Oh, I
hypocrite.
forgot about that, yeah. Basically, she gets really annoyed because it looked like Theo and her husband were kissing, but apparently it was just Theo.
She held him in fear as well. Like, just... Yeah.
And basically it turned out Shirley properly cheated on her husband.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Poor Kevin. Do you want to explain Theo so then we can understand?
Theo is the middle, the number 3.
Yeah.
And she is kind of... she doesn't like people. She doesn't like to get to know people. I think it's part because she constantly wears gloves because if she touches anyone, she can feel what they're feeling. Is that right?
Something
Yeah,
something
can, like,
along them lines.
It's more empathetic, not
It's like-
telepathic, isn't it?
Yeah.
But she's currently living in a rent house of Shirley's, like a little cottage on the side.
Guest house.
It's like
Imagine having that much money.
I think it's called guest
reinvented
house.
garage.
I'm
Yeah.
wearing the socks for
Sort of thing.
Graceland guest house. Albert had a guest house. Basically, Theo.
But Theo's the child therapist.
Yeah.
She's kind of, it's up and down what she believes in. If you know what I mean.
I think-
She feels very what's the word I'm looking for? It's not sarcastic. Like skeptical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like the skeptical's completely genuine all the time.
My thing with Theo is I think that she wants to be very like strong and emotional. Like I don't think she wants to be very emotional. So then she sees these things. Like for example, you see basically there's this part at Nellie's funeral. Spoiler: Nellie dies. And their mum is like crawling towards them.
Mm-hmm.
I just forgot about the. Oh, I'm gonna get emotional later. I think. And she's like hugging into her dad, and I think again she's the one who's the most forgiving to her dad out of the older siblings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And basically she obviously sees it. She's very scared by it, but then I think. Ooh.
Nelly?
I think she's very much like she doesn't want to let it affect her life very much, but I think by doing that it affects her life, if you get what I'm saying.
Constantly
She's
putting on a front.
blocking it out so
Yeah.
hard that it's having an effect
Like,
on her.
while obviously Luke and Nellie, who don't block it out, it doesn't have an effect on them. It does have an effect on them, sorry. Whereas, and like Shirley and Steve, who try to block it out, it has an effect on them. Theo's
Yeah.
sort of like the middle ground, like the middle child, obviously.
Yeah, because Luke and Nellie found ways to cope with it. One found a better way than the other. Because Luke copes with it with heroin.
Should we move on to Luke?
Nellie copes with it by with the husband.
So, do you want to talk about Luke, Roisin?
Yeah.
Luke is a really cute, Luke is the cutest young kid.
Oh my god, he's so like
Luke would
precious
not grow
and
up to be that
innocent.
Luke.
I was about to say, all the
No, it's
others,
so different.
all the
so
others look
believable.
like they're gonna grow up to be
Because
them.
also the
Yeah,
thing
but-
is, his glasses were so thick. There's no way.
There's no
Luke
way
at
that-
age does not need glasses.
Yeah.
Also, there's no way he's got a cantoid in. What did I just say?
Contoid. You said cantoids. Yeah, he doesn't have
No, but,
cantoids in.
Yeah, he does.
No, he looks completely different to his younger character.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether
So
that's
fit.
I don't know whether that he's very fit. But
Steve's
like, is it an
fit too.
intentional
I don't care.
thing?
Steve is very fit.
So that's Theo.
Theo is fit. All of them are fit except Shirley.
Apart from Shirley,
Yeah.
shag all of them except Shirley.
100%, yeah. Nellie's in the next season of You.
Oh, oh,
Is it going to be season 2 of this? We'll get to that at the end.
lovely.
But yeah,
Lovely to know.
Luke, I think is very. I think Luke. I feel very bad for him.
Same.
Yeah,
Especially
I think
because-
he's. I don't know where I was going with that sentence.
See, I do think one of the things that makes me like Steve a lot is how he deals with Luke. Because it's like the whole thing, but when they were kids, he would be like in Luke's treehouse, hint, bedroom, he is so nice to Luke about everything and helps him spell and talks to him about what he's
Yeah.
scared about. And
But-
then when Luke is literally stealing from Steve, Steve is like, can you just give me the iPad back? Take everything, here's $200.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
They're, especially compared to Shirley. Shirley is literally just like caught
Shirley
Luke,
is.
Whereas
This is my stuff. Stay away.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Steve understands what Luke's going through. But I just love them both. I love them all except Shirley. And I'm not a massive fan of Theo, but I can understand why Theo's how she is. They're such a
But-
nice family.
I do feel bad for Luke though, because it's like although he's getting support, it's not the support he needs. Like he needs someone to be like, yes, it's happening. Yes, yeah.
Which
But
is
I
in
don't
some
know,
ways why I did
it's-
like the dad when he was older. because the dad, when he was older, was being like, it is happening. Like,
Yeah, like, this is real. This is not... You were okay to be scared.
didn't he even say
Like,
to
it's
Luke,
fine.
I see your mum as a coping mechanism?
Yeah.
Oh no, to Steve. I see your
Steve.
mum as a coping mechanism, but then also these things are happening.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the mum...
The part I hated was when...
The mum that Hugh sees isn't the ghost.
Yeah,
It's in his own head,
I
isn't it?
hated
Yeah,
that part
yeah.
when Luke was
Yeah.
sobbing at the
Oh, the grave.
Luke and Nellie really make me upset.
Yeah.
But basically anything about like siblings dying or anything about like siblings
It gets to me
relationship, it really
so
upsets
much,
me.
yeah.
I think it possibly is a thing which happens when you have a lot of siblings. Because obviously, while two isn't.
I haven't got many siblings, but if anything happened to them, I would lose my shit.
Yeah, I think it is
I'd break down.
It's
fully.
it's fully a sibling thing that happens.
That's made me a little bit emotional.
Yeah, no,
that's
literally, I hated watching it.
what I'm
especially-
thinking about that.
Yeah, I hated watching it. Like that part, especially when there was the thing where the mum was obviously, because again, it's showing that the mum wanted Luke to come and be safe
her
and be
and Nellie.
awake, but Nellie was like, "No, go."
Don't go. That's great. That little kid's great. The one who plays
It's
Nellie.
almost like that
Oh,
part
yeah.
in Insidious 2.
I haven't seen it.
Insidious
Not
2, there's a
seen it,
part where the man, and basically at one part he's saying something like, "No, let me go." No, something
Yeah.
like that. And then maybe like, "She let me go." And then another part she's saying, "Won't go," or something like that. And basically they put it together and it turns out when the man's shouting, "She won't let me go. She won't let me go." And it's not Insidious. Conjuring, everyone, sorry. They're the same actor.
Have you seen the video of the actress that plays young
Is she
young
a-
Nellie talking about being vegetarian?
Oh no.
It's the cutest thing
It's
ever.
not Young Nellie, is it? It's Bird Box Girl.
Oh yeah, it's Bed Box Girl. Yeah, sorry, that was me getting confused. But
I
It's
thought he was
very
going to
cute.
talk about.
cutest
There was
thing
like an
ever.
Instagram picture of little Nellie, and she stood by
With the dead
coffin
bodies,
of
yeah.
Old Nellie, and she's just there. She's just like got this smug little smile. She's like, yeah, it's great.
It's like you'd think they'd be traumatised by the stuff that they're acting with, but really they're just like, wait.
But I think that there is a thing like the horror film kids, they don't get shown how scary it actually is, because like the kid in The Shining
Yeah.
didn't realise it was a horror until he watched it later on. He just thought it was a really boring film about a hotel.
That's a good film. I like The
I
Shining.
love
But
The
anyway, so
Shining.
Nellie basically is the one who I think is the most affected by the house.
Because the ghost,
Oh man.
the others aren't really targeted by a ghost apart from the mother,
Luke.
Luke and Nellie. They're the ones who were kind of like targeted. They're
Yeah.
like- so Nellie is targeted by the bent neck lady.
Yeah.
Like the bent neck lady is constantly
She's
on her.
always there.
Yeah.
And basically it's literally just this lady who has a bent neck and just stares at her.
Yeah.
And then basically when Nellie grows up and starts talking to this doctor about sleep paralysis, and then they fall in love, get married, blah blah blah. And then there's a night where she sees the bent neck lady again.
For the first time in years.
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
And her husband gets up,
Absolute
and then
ages.
like you just hear it, and her husband's
Yeah.
neck just snaps, and he falls to the floor. So then she like
Why
can't
does that
move.
happen? Did they ever explain why that happens?
No.
I think it's like the house is very powerful.
Right.
Because obviously the thing happens like both Olivia and Nellie didn't actually technically kill themselves. It was
Oh, it is
Yeah.
the house.
Yes, Nellie was pushed.
so then her husband like neck snaps and all that, and then she's like stuck in bed, and then
She has a fallout with Theo.
she argues with Theo, and then she rings. She sees something about Luke, doesn't she?
Shit, I don't remember that.
Something happens definitely with her and Luke.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it is, but something happens.
Oh, did you hear that he did a runner? He didn't.
Yeah.
He followed his friend, but
Yeah,
everybody
yeah,
thinks
yeah,
he did
yeah,
a runner
yeah,
from the
yeah.
rehab. Yeah.
So then she gets panicked and she calls. Doesn't she have a dream or something where Luke's like lay on the floor?
I think so. Did she call Shirley first?
Yeah, she
Because-
called.
But does she not see what he is in the red room? She sees that.
Yeah. Basically, at the end in the bedroom, it seems like Luke's injected himself with rat poison, and basically Nellie sees that, so rings Shirley and Steve, and neither of them answer, and she's panicked about Luke, and she rings Hugh, the dad, and explains. He picks up and explains that she's seeing the bent neck lady again, and the dad's like, go to Steve's.
Yeah, because he immediately gets a plane, doesn't he? He immediately goes to airport.
Yeah.
But then it turns out Nellie wasn't actually in LA, is it?
I
Where's
think
what?
so.
Steve's house.
Steve's in LA.
Yeah.
The house is miles away. It's
Nellie's
Massachusetts
not
or something.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Nellie's not in LA. Nellie is at the house, and she goes into the house, and then Steve goes home and he finds Luke stealing things, And then it's like, oh, you can take everything but the iPad, here's £200. And then goes up into his room and Nellie's there.
But he thinks he's just...
He's like,
why'd you let Luke in? Why are you just going to let him take my stuff? You know what I mean?
And then Hugh rings and basically Nellie's dead. But yeah, so then
That's the first big scare, isn't it?
Nellie, yeah. I hate the open mouth.
It's great.
Nellie is basically the bed neck lady. So like for Nellie's whole life...
It's brilliant.
In Hill House,
she's haunting herself.
That she was going to hang herself. I hate how graphic her hanging herself is. Like it properly.
They did that like it looked so real.
The way it edits, where she drops and she's hung, and then she just keeps dropping into every scene. You've seen the bent neck that she just drops into every scene over and over again, and it's like, and you find out the reason she's screaming is the horrified. She's realised what she is. She's realised she's her own worst fear, like over and over again. Like
it properly like
it's like it's paradox. There's no way of ever getting out of
that
it.
Happens, there's a really good scene where she's dancing, and like it's going. You see what she sees, and you see what's actually happening, and you see what she sees.
Yeah, because
where she's dancing, it's beautiful.
Into thinking that she's with her family and with her husband, and it's horrible.
And you see all the ghosts looking normal. Actually, you only see them briefly, really, but you see what they actually look like normal.
But then that is like, because with Olivia, there's Poppy, the ghost, who is
the instigator.
Yeah, Poppy Hill, William Hill's wife, who was apparently like insane.
Yeah.
And basically, it seemed like she was really panicked about her kids, and I think the things that she said happened to her kids actually happened, didn't they?
She seems like she's very good at maybe manipulating the truth.
Yeah, but basically she scares Olivia into what Luke and Nellie are going to end up like. Because then there's that part where she goes into Nellie's room, and Nellie's saying to her like, what happens if I can't deal with it and all this, and then Luke can't deal with it either and turns and puts poison into his body and all this. Oh, it's getting me a bit emotional.
Yeah.
And Olivia, while she's very scary, it's fair enough. Like those are her like I think one thing I don't particularly like about Olivia and Hugh, it's very obvious that Nellie and Luke are their favourites, and I get that they're the babies of the family, because as the baby of the family, I'm my dad's favourite. But like my dad would make it that obvious, if you get what I mean, or he'll make jokes about it. Whereas,
hope all your siblings are listening.
Yeah.
They're just all like, what?
But then
sorry, who?
And then she basically then plans this tea party with Nellie, Luke, and Luke's friend Abigail, who comes in later, and gives some rat poison instead of tea. And then Hugh goes in and is like, what are you doing? Whacks all the tea off and then takes all the kids out. And then that takes it back to one of the first episode, isn't it? Where Steve, she's like, no, don't look behind you.
Yeah.
And Steve obviously looks behind him. And you can see a woman running behind him. I thought that was a ghost when I first saw it. That creeps me out a lot.
When I first saw it, I thought that was ghost trying to get an attachment.
It creeped me out a lot, but it was the mum. And obviously then there's a whole thing about how Nellie's relationship with the whole siblings is Nellie realises what the mum was trying to do, not the mum, but the house showing us the mum.
Yeah.
Was trying to get them all to come back, but then Nellie was like, no, and kept don't go with her, don't do it.
Nellie's great.
Nellie is Nellie is the hero, because while Hugh obviously technically kills himself to
save them,
Olivia.
Yeah.
Nellie obviously Nellie saves Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Definitely.
Because Hugh makes it so the red room door opens, but Nellie saves Luke. So
it's so sad.
It really the end the last episode I was actually sobbing, and I was watching it with my sister.
I was bawling.
She was
absolutely bawling.
Literally just sat there. And I was properly just crying, and I think after I watched it I came home and had a bit of a cry about it. It's so horrible, but it's so good. But then I love
so clever
how it really does show how much Nellie and Luke would do for each other. Obviously Nellie
their relationship is ridiculously strong.
Nellie buys some heroin, which obviously isn't great, but she realises that he needs it, and I think she understands that that's how he deals with the tall man following him.
Because even though she knows it's better for him not to do it, she knows that what
you
he's
can't
dealing
just
with,
quit cold
he needs
turkey as well.
something to, it's not going to work.
And then
it's like going vegetarian. You can't go cold turkey.
And I think we mentioned it before, didn't we? we mentioned it before, like
Just like
Shirley
say what she wants.
and the wedding, like Nelly wanted Luke at the wedding, and Shirley had no place to tell Luke to go home.
I agree. Screw shit.
I
Yeah.
think basically she should have just gone up to Nelly and been like, Luke is here, I think he's high. Do you want me to send him home?
It should have been Nellie's decision.
Especially because it upset Nelly.
And I
Yeah.
think the others, like I think a Steve and a Theo would have been happy to keep an eye on Luke
Yeah.
at
Maybe
their
not Theo,
siblings'
'cause
wedding.
We all know what happens to Theo at that wedding. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Gets off one of the bridesmaids.
Was that her like coming out?
Yeah, because they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a part, isn't there, where Steve and Nelly are like
They're
oh,
like,
Oh,
sharing,
yeah.
like,
watch the
oh.
penny drop, and
It
then
was
Shirley's
like-
like staring at him, and she's like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed
I
that.
love that because that is also very family.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
because they all clearly know that Shirley's the one who's just gonna like she can't see anything
Yeah.
for the sake of looking.
But then that's the ghosts. Poppy, I really liked, like as in like how she looked. She was so pretty. And then there was that part
Where she changes.
where
Yeah.
Olivia's in the room and you see Poppy like staring at her.
Yeah.
She looked properly creepy as well. Like actually terrifying. Look, her eyes.
Mm.
Man.
It was just horrible.
But Poppy didn't actually scare me too much. I don't have kids.
Poppy was more.
That's probably it's going to scare me when I have kids, isn't it?
Poppy was kind of your monologuing villain a little bit, wasn't she? Like exposition-y.
Yeah,
Right.
because like Poppy like because then also the whole thing like Poppy clearly has been speaking to one of the housekeepers like Mrs. Dudley has clearly been speaking to her, and then I hate the tall man.
Yeah.
Fully despise the tall man.
Tall man is the William Hill. Is that his name?
Yeah,
He's the body they find in the wall.
Willy
but
Hilly.
I don't think that's very. I don't think that's obvious.
Oh, I thought, isn't his cane there?
I didn't notice that.
No,
I
I
thought
didn't
his-
notice it.
I thought his cane was in the
I
wall.
only realised the connection like once I'd like Googled it, once I searched it.
I only realised when you mentioned it earlier.
Maybe
I just
'cause
thought the tall man was like a spooky.
I thought he was just a...
I might be making it up, but I thought the
Ooky
cane was
creepy.
there. Freaky deaky.
Yeah. But the tall man terrified me. Especially that part where Hugh says to Steve when we first go in, like when we're older, look at me, just look at me. And then you see it and the man's like,
Yeah, he's there.
The bit where he's
what happens
getting...
when you look at him?
I don't know. The
Because
bit...
is that what? Because
It's
obviously
all
Luke
about-
looks at him, does he haunt you?
I must be, because he
It
clings
must-
to him,
That
doesn't
must
he?
be like how you get like his attachment.
Because the bit with Luke is quite... When he's... Luke goes outside and he's just trying all the doors and he's just...
Yeah.
Like, just...
It's because
slowly
Luke took his
moving,
hat. Cheeky devil. But who gave it him? Olivia.
Yeah.
But then, as obviously there's all the hidden ghosts as well. My least favourite one is that one which I told you, the one that I literally noticed without looking at any articles, where he finds a man in the wall. And the
Yeah,
girl's
like, and the girl's just with all her hair, just...
I didn't notice any of them.
And also, I didn't notice how creepy it was, but the one where it's the person behind in the piano, like...
That was a
with the
creepy one when we
hands.
saw
Yeah,
it.
I didn't notice that one.
Because also, when I read it, I was like, oh, I can't really see it. Because I looked on BuzzFeed. And then when I looked at it with you two, because it's like, the whole thing on BuzzFeed it's creepy because it looks like it's ready to pounce. And it is.
Yeah, fully. I only noticed the one behind the ladder by myself, but I cheated and read the BuzzFeed thing beforehand. So I was like spotting them all out as I watched it because I knew they were coming.
But did you all...
But that one behind the ladder, that got me.
Did you all also think that Abigail, the Dudley's kid, was a ghost?
Yes.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
fully thought-
picked that
Like,
up.
you know how when
I was seeing
Mr. Dudley
something.
was talking about how Hugh... Yeah. Or about how... Like, talking to Hugh about how he worked there for so long and his wife was made to work long hours and then their baby died.
Mm-hmm.
I thought
was
that
like-
Abigail was the baby.
No, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought that it
I
was
thought, wow,
Lucy
I'm so
and-
clever. I've figured it out. Sorted it.
But I think that's what they wanted you to think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then obviously the whole thing happened where Olivia gave Abigail the rat poison. So Abigail died.
There's me thinking that Abigail was just part of the whole thing, and then suddenly she's like, ghosts can't die. Ghosts can't die. But ghosts
I
die.
feel so sorry for the Dudleys.
Same.
Especially because
Yeah.
that part where he then carries her into the
Oh
house
my-
and then
oh my
she
God.
stood there with the baby.
They kind of made a bit of it like the Hill House can be a good thing.
Yeah,
Really,
yeah.
with the
They, like
Dudleys.
they made it so beautiful, like especially like when you got to the very end and
But
the wife
also,
was there.
Like, again, because also it's the same
Wearing
with, like...
the worst old people makeup ever.
I was like, why aren't they just...
Yeah.
Why didn't they just cast old people?
Just put a little bit of salt and pepper. Put salt and pepper on the
Or
sides.
just old people. Like, I would have got what you were saying.
Yeah, and you would have understood.
And then, like, but also it's good in the fact of Olivia and Hugh and Nellie. Like, they're all together, they're all happy now. Like, I do just think Olivia, like, it was like how Hugh was like, I'll go with you. Oh, it really does make me sad. And then obviously, look, again, the ending, very, very sad.
Reveal of the Red Room.
Yeah, that is so cool. The one thing that makes me a bit like, Shirley, her room is the family room. Only her in it.
Yeah.
And it's like Luke's treehouse. Steve can go in.
Yeah, that's the only one. Is that the only one where we see 2 people in? What is it for Nelly?
I look, Nellie's is...
Because it's a
toy
game.
room?
Is it a play? Yeah,
I think it's like a toy
Because
play
it's a
room.
games room for Steve, isn't it? And
family room for
Dancing
Shirley,
room for Theo.
Theo's dance studio, isn't it?
Honestly, I was so shocked when it was a thing where the footsteps were...
Were Nelly and
Yeah.
Shirley
Yeah.
outside, and
then Theo.
Yeah,
Who was I talking about? I can't remember, but that was the best thing.
that
I
was
like,
so clever.
that
how
was
they
the
did
thing
that.
I liked, because the editing this is amazing. That was my favourite part, I think. When they were like, because it was the same, but like you wouldn't notice until it went back. But then if you looked at it from the first time, you're like, you could have guessed that easily.
I
It's
just also want
it's
to
there,
talk
but
about
you don't see it.
a terrifying bit when Theo... Is it Theo? Yeah. Who sends Luke down in the little thing.
Oh, yes.
And the thing's
Yeah.
calling at him. Oh!
What? We never found out what that really was. Just sort of creepy.
That was
wasn't
just a zombie.
it? Yeah, it was
in the
awful. It was
basement.
just dead.
I think that was just like a spooky thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just a.
Feel bad for him because
Yeah.
he's proper upset as well. Like, he nearly gets him,
Oh,
doesn't it? 'Cause it rips his
horrible.
pyjamas.
Yeah.
All his little PJs.
Doesn't it scratch his skin a little bit as well?
Rips his jimmers.
Poor little Luke. Luke, honestly,
He.
as well.
None of them deserved any of this.
Like, they are all. Like, Shirley doesn't deserve it. She's a bit annoying, but she doesn't deserve it. One thing I don't like is how scary young Hugh's eyes are.
I don't mind them.
No, they like
Those bright
they're
baby blues.
intense. They're like intense.
They are
Yeah.
terrible.
They look
They
like
see into your soul.
they look like they're powered by like a separate generator. They're so
glow.
they're neon.
Yeah,
Like
they're so spooky. But again, like, Hill House is amazing. I can't, like, what is season 2 going to be?
well,
I don't know where they're gonna go with
It
it.
has to be anthology, doesn't it? It has to be like something different. You can't. What are you gonna do in the house unless it's
Yeah.
a prequel?
But didn't our TV genres lecturer say something about it possibly being something like American Horror Story?
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
meant by anthology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To possibly, like, and I don't know if he's maybe read that somewhere, so possibly that is what's happening.
Because the only way they can do
that-
which keeps it the same would be a prequel.
Yeah.
Or
Unless it's
possibly
like a new family
it's,
moving in.
like, later on,
Which
possibly
is
like when
just
it's only
like-
maybe like even Luke alive, and a new
But-
family moving.
and then
but-
like the family, it wrapped up so nicely.
And yeah,
Yeah.
it's also been, I think, the fact that Nellie, Hugh and Olivia are still haunting it, they're nice ghosts, so they will go and be like, mate, leave.
Because there wasn't that many.
Yeah.
There wasn't really many horrible ghosts. Well, a lot of them minded their own business, really.
Like they were scary
Like-
and creepy, but like once
Fix
you got to the end, you realised there were good intentions
'Cause wasn't-
behind
there
them.
was a
Clock
boy.
fixer just wanted to fix the clock.
Yeah, there was a boy in a
he was
wheelchair.
just-
Just
wasn't
wanted
there?
to wheel us away.
Yeah, he wasn't doing
Woman on
anything.
the
It was
chair.
just.
He was
The
just
woman on
having
the
a wheel
chair.
about.
The woman in the bed warned Olivia about Poppy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, so it's clearly mainly Poppy, and I don't know about the tall guy. He was just mad. He went mad though, didn't he? 'Cause
Like-
he bricked himself into it, so he
I think he was just a bit
unhinged.
mental.
No, but there was
Yeah.
a thing where, is it
But he
Trish?
didn't actually do anything that properly harmed you.
Trish said
It
to
was just
Theo
psychological.
about how there was two sisters, shame and guilt or something, and they would kiss his eyelids every night, so he bricked himself in.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
when he didn't realise when he bricked himself in, he bricked the sisters in with him.
Yeah.
I hate as well when it's like, Hugh's like, oh, it must be rats. But then they're like, oh, he's scratched and his fingers dry.
He's
Yeah.
clearly because he changed his mind, didn't he?
Yeah, because
Oh,
he was trapped in there with the sisters. Which obviously the sisters are metaphorical. But mad. Basically, yeah, Hugh House is really good. Hugh House.
Hugh House.
Hugh's house.
Hugh's house.
Hill House is really good. It's also
That's where you live.
like, let's not.
I love finding you up. I'm so sorry.
The tall man won't be outside your door. He might.
Oh, Willie.
Let's not.
Willie.
Willie Hill. And it's tall man. Poppy
It's
really.
defo there then.
I'd really recommend Hill House. It's definitely something to watch. But I would, if you're very easily scared, I personally did it. I'd watch it.
Watch it with a friend
Yeah, or I watched it in the mornings, so then I'd have the full day.
to get over it.
Oh.
and then I'd be fine. And then I'd watch You in the evenings. So I'll shout out to You. Quite a good series. Yeah.
I watched it at night 'cause I'm hard as nails. I
Yeah.
regret saying that.
I like watching it like
Yeah,
at night
it's
in
more
the
fun.
dark.
Yeah.
I'm
I
like,
watched
oh.
the last few episodes at night.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, because you get more. I like to set my own little mood for the.
I like to be
But-
scared.
Anyway, so next week we're going to be doing the Big Mouth Valentine's special. is it?
Valentine's special.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've not watched it yet, but I will.
Everybody enjoy your Valentine's. Does everybody have a date?
I do.
Nope.
I have one with the dentist.
Cute.
Yeah.
We have one with possibly filming at the lounge.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I'm going for pizza with my house because they
Oh.
are my Valentine's.
So we'll cry away for the rest of the week and be back with Big Mouth.
Goodbye.
Bye. Have
Bye.
a lovely week.
Love you.